Hi there. So today I'm going to be making a triple chocolate cake um, with a raspberry sauce. So low carb or keto. I don't know which one it is, but it's definitely low carb. So in order to get started, I'm going to be using the Swerve Sweets chocolate cake mix. I have used these before, and I'm a big fan of these, and also the Birch Benders brand. And the Birch Benders keto chocolate frosting is the frosting that I'm going to be using for this. So the instructions say 3 large eggs, a third a cup of oil, a third a cup of water, and a tablespoon of vanilla. So I will get started with that, and we'll go from there. Okay, so once it's all mixed up, I'm just spreading a little bit of coconut oil into my, really it's a pie plate, but I'm using it as a cake dish. I always use this to bake my round cakes, especially my single layer round cakes, because it's cute and it's easy. And most of the time the cake mixes, I have like a large rectangular cake pan, but if I want to use that to make the cake, I'd have to use 2 boxes. So if I just want like a single cake, I always just make like a round one, and I always use this pie plate. So once this is all greased up, you can use like butter, any kind of oil that you want. I just like to make sure that there's some kind of oil in there to help keep the cake from sticking to it. Then you're just gonna put it right in there, and I've got the oven preheated to 350, so I'll be popping that in there. The instructions say it says for cake it's 25 to 30 minutes. So I'll be baking that at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. And then obviously you have to let the cake cool down before you do any kind of frosting on it. So I will show you the results whenever I pull it out of the oven. And I want to say real quick, in case I forget to say later, whenever I pull my cakes, especially these cake mixes, I've learned that when you're letting it cool off, you're gonna want to put a plate on top of the cake because it helps keep the moisture in. I've done it the other way where I just let it cool off and I didn't have anything covering them up. I think it was for some cupcakes or something. Anyways, it was a much drier consistency. So definitely once you pull this out of the oven, it's gonna need to cool for a while, but you need to go ahead and put a plate, something that is not heat sensitive, like it can't be like plastic or anything like that, like a ceramic plate or something like that. You need to put that over the cake and let it cool down with that on top. Your cake will be so much, I hate this word, but your cake will be so much more moist if you do it that way. So yeah, don't have to learn the hard way like I did with a dried out cake. Just put something over the cake when it's cooling down so it doesn't lose all that extra moisture. Okay, so now that the cake has had a chance to cool off, and I had the plate on top of it to help keep the moisture in, now I'm going to start spreading the frosting on. This is the frosting I'm using. It's Birch Benders Keto Chocolate Frosting. Let's see if I can show the ingredients and stuff. Anyways, I've tried this before, and it's pretty close. It definitely tastes really great. Like paired up with other stuff like I'm doing tonight. I'll be using the frosting, and then I also have some of the Lily's white chocolate chips and dark chocolate chips that I'm going to be sprinkling on there as well. So yeah, I'm super grateful that they have these available. They have this one, and then they also have a vanilla one, and I love them so much. All right, so once you have the frosting all spread out on the cake, then I'm just going to take some of the chocolate chips and just start sprinkling them. Doesn't have to cover the whole, you know, every little centimeter of the cake, but just kind of sprinkle them throughout here and there. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the white chocolate. And then after that, it'll just be needing to make the raspberry sauce, which is a very simple process, and I'll show y'all how to do that. Okay, so I've got both of the different types of chocolate chips spread on here, and now I'm moving on to make the raspberry sauce. Super simple. I'm just going to be using this Good brand raspberry jam that I have. I need to use this up anyways, so this is a fantastic recipe. You can substitute, you know, any kind of jam that you have. Probably grape wouldn't work too well, but like strawberry or raspberry for sure, etc., even blueberry probably. But all I'm gonna do for that is in a small saucepan. I would show y'all the process, but I broke my camera holder that's over the stove, and I'm still waiting for the new one to get here. So all I'm going to do is, in a small saucepan, I'm just going to put some of the raspberry jam and a little bit of water and just kind of thin it out a little bit. And I'll be adding just a little bit of the Swerve granular sugar to that. And I'll show y'all the final product in the saucepan before I cut a slice and then put it all on a plate and everything for you. It's a pretty simple process, and you could also make the sauce out of like fresh fruit. I just happen to have this and I need to use it up anyways. Okay, so I just finished up with the raspberry sauce, and let me kind of bring it up here so you can kind of see the thickness that it needs to be. It's not completely goopy, but it's like, it's got some substance to it. It's not super liquidy. And it was really easy. I just put in like a scoopful of the raspberry jam, a little bit of water, and then, like I said, the Swerve granular mixture. Let's see if I have it handy. The Swerve granular mixture. You really can't go too wrong. I didn't really measure necessarily. I just kind of poured in and eyeballed. But you're going to want to allow it to kind of come to a boil while you're continuously stirring it. It will be extremely hot, so definitely be careful. Yeah, you're going to want to let it come to like a boil and let it all come together like that. And then just keep stirring it, keep heating it until the consistency starts thickening up. And then as you let it cool, it will continue to thicken up. So let me cut a slice off and plate it up for you so you can see the final product. All right, and then here we have the final product with the jam, the raspberry sauce all on top. And this is just a gooey, delicious treat. I'm probably gonna make this for some of our like holiday family get-togethers, so that I have something that's low carb that I can kind of indulge in and not feel too guilty about. But yeah, also I just make this whenever I'm craving like a chocolate cake, a really indulgent chocolate cake, kind of like a nod to the Great Wall of Chocolate from P.F. Chang's, if anybody has ever gone there. I say that like it's not like a well-known place, but one of my favorite desserts was always the Great Wall of Chocolate, and I love the raspberry and chocolate combo. So this is kind of like a nod to that recipe. Obviously it's not exact, Just kind of like a nod to that and helps appease my craving for it whenever I have it. But yeah, if anybody ends up trying this recipe, please comment down below and let me know what you think. Also, you can let me know what you think about, like, if it's similar to the Great Wall of Chocolate or whatnot. I mean, it's got a similar vibe, but it's not the same at all. All right, guys. Well, thanks so much for tuning in, and I hope you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And also be sure to hit the bell notification so that you are notified whenever I upload more videos just like these. Thanks so much. Have a great one, guys.